Hello everybody, welcome to Volt Vehicles. This is a review on the Engwe E26 250 watt, 48 volt, 16 amp hour, fat tire, 26-inch electric bike that is a pretty cool urban commuter. So let's get down to the specs here. This is a 16 amp hour, 48 volt battery, going to provide some decent range, 50 to 60 kilometers, even more depending on like the eco settings you've got. The tires here are not going to provide the best rolling resistance with the big fat tires, but it's got a decently sized battery, 16 amp hours, so you're going to get around a decent distance with it. When it comes to the battery here, it's integrated into the frame, nice and sleek. It's removable as well with the key lock, so that's really nice. When it comes to the branded cells of the battery, I cannot find any information that the battery cells are of any particular brand, which is not a good sign. It's always good to have like good brands because like Samsung and LG, less risk of the battery like conking out and dying prematurely, but also that they catch fire and any accidents happen. But I've not heard anyone complain that the Engwe E26 has been causing problems with fires, so it's probably alright, but it's always best to have some kind of branded cells. Just something to keep in mind here. It's really cool that this bike, in my opinion, is like, I love that it's a 250 watt motor because this makes people who live in the EU have a very good time with the legalities here. Really nice. And this is also a pretty beefy 250 watt motor because it's got 70 newton meters of torque. So it's pretty good, I would say. I know that there are many hub motors at 250 watts that have like 40 newton meters of torque. So you've got a pretty strong motor here, even for just being 250 watts. It's also 48 volt as well. Many 250 watt electric bikes have a tendency to be like 36 volts. I like the 48 volts because it gives like more flexibility, get a bit more better top speed and like the highest battery capacity. This is a hub drive. We're not going to have to rely on the drivetrain, so that's a good in terms of maintenance. But I like to be able to have a mid drive though, because those give like better utilization of the gears, more acceleration, or better top speed. But I mean, for simplicity, for commuting, I think it's all right. So what do I think about the overall build of this bike then? Well, we've got different variations. The E26 comes in both the step through and the high step version. We've also got different colors, which I like. And I think it's good choices of colors as well. Black, turquoise, and also yellow. I think they look really cool looking colors. They also got different variation with the step through and the high step frame. I like the step through one because I don't find many good step through electric bikes. I think step through is really nice because it's really comfortable. It's going to not be as sturdy as the high step version, but I still like the step through because you're easily able to just hop on the bike, especially like when you're in the city commuting. It's nice to be able to just quickly hop on the bike with the step through style. When it comes to like the frame, yeah, we've got a decently built frame. It looks very solid. I like it. We've not got any folding stuff, which a lot of these Engwe's bikes often have folding. I like it that they didn't go with folding here, making the frame a bit more robust. I don't usually think that folding mechanisms have good places in like really big heavy bikes like these. When it comes to the tires, we've got the 4-inch, 26-inch fat tires. These are going to be extremely comfortable to ride on. Really comfortable. 4-inch fat tires in general are really really nice to ride on, really comfortable. But then you combine that with having the 26 ones, the 26-inch ones are going to be even more comfortable. So really nice. Unfortunately, they're not going to have as good rolling resistance just because they're fat tires, and it's going to be even worse because of the knobby style of tires we've got here. I would have really liked that these would be slicks. I don't like how they're knobby. It would have been a lot better, I think, for what this is like sort of aimed towards. Like, there's a commuter bicycle. I'd have preferred if it was slicks. Just a improvement that we could have there. Not the whole world though. When it comes to the seat, it's not the most comfortable seat. Like, it's not got any like springs in the seat. If we get like here, see, it's the very basic looking seat. The thing that I like that they've done though is that they've got a suspension seat post, so that's good. So even though the seat itself is not so comfortable, there's going to be a big level of comfort added with the suspension seat post. So that's nice. So that's very suitable, I think, for being a commuting bicycle. You want to be there, get to your job quickly. Don't have to worry about you getting yourself too banged up by not having a suspension seat post. Really improves the comfort of the ride. When it comes to the shock absorbers, we've got a front shock here. It's a cheap shock. It's not like a air fork or anything special here, but it helps a little bit. An additional level of comfort. I mean, already this is going to be a really comfortable ride because we've got the 4-inch fat tires. Combine that with 26-inch fat tires. Then you've got the suspension fork and the seat post fork. They got seat post suspension. That's going to be a really comfortable ride. It's nice that when it comes to the accessories here that we've got a rear rack with lights and mudguards. I like that. Most bikes I noticed they come with lights, but many don't come with rear mudguards, and many don't even come with a rear rack. This bike has all of them, so I really like that. Really good. And the rear rack is very sturdy as well, so I like that. It's great that we got the lights integrated to the battery so that they're always going to be running at all times. The kickstand is on the back here, as you can see. I like that. It's good that it's on the back and not in the middle, in my opinion. It gets really in the way when it's in the middle, so I like that as well. When it comes to the handlebar, we've got a pretty decent like forward placement of the handlebar. Surprised about that. They like increased the forward placement here with the bar being able to be moved out, but you can actually adjust it to up, so that's good if you want to have it more, you know, have it like higher or more close to you, then you can always adjust it up. I'm surprised how much it's leaning forward. I mean, me personally, I like it when it leans forward, the handlebar, because I can lean more onto it and then I'll be able to like put more weight and more control on the bike. It's unusual to see these city bikes being so much forward. When it comes to the brakes, we've got hydraulic disc brakes, and that's just perfect. We don't need all these mechanical disc brakes going on. The hydraulic disc brakes are going to get the job done a lot more properly. Okay, you can see here I've got the hydraulic disc brakes, so that's nice. When it comes to the gearing, we've got basic Shimano gearing, but at least it's Shimano gearing. It's a 7-speed Shimano system, so I mean it's the cheapest one we've got here, Shimano Tony. I mean it's alright. It gets the job done, and we're not using a mid-drive here, so we don't need to care too much about our drivetrain being the best. And the 7-speed is still pretty robust, so it's not going to break down, but you're maybe not going to have the smoothest shifts here. But it's alright. We've got something. At least it's a Shimano brand. This bike is also available in the EU and US, all everywhere worldwide, so that's great as well. Engwe in general, I would say, is also a very good brand to buy from. I've had very good experience with Engwe. The bikes can sometimes be like, they have pluses and minuses to them. For example, I've bought an Engwe Engine Pro a long time ago, and I had an issue with I was not able to set the speed limit. The speed limit does not work, and many people have been having this problem that it's not being able to set the speed limit. But they were actually really nice. I'd used the bike quite a bit, and they accepted the return and gave a full refund. They just deducted the postage. So I would say that you're going to have a good time with Engwe. They're friendly to customers. They do have a bit of a lack of English knowledge, so their support, you might be surprised when you contact the support that their English is not 100% like correct. But don't get scared away because of that, because they do actually try to help quite a bit, and they have at least helped me a lot, and to the extent that they've taken back a used bike. So I really appreciate them a lot, and I would say that I have a lot of faith in the company here. So, summary then of the Engwe E26. I think it's a really good bike for EU people because this is a 250 watt motor, so you're going to get the most out of the EU laws, and it goes 25 kilometers an hour. Then there's also a limit that it's got. I'm sure there's sneaky ways you can unlock that limit, but for me, who's in the EU, 25 kilometers an hour is all the speed I want to go. We've got a 48 volt motor, decent battery range, very, very comfortable ride. You're going to be able to get around really well in all the curbs and all the places in the city, and maybe even a bit of off-roading. Personally, I wouldn't really like to use this off-road in terms of the step-through version. The high step one I can imagine a bit more robust frame, but not the step-through version. This I definitely see more for city users. So I mean, is it worth the price? For $13.99, I think it is worth the price for what you get. You get a good sized battery, overall very big, robust bike, and you can get some special codes from time to time there and give you discounts as well. So you can probably get at least like $100 off if you just keep a look from time to time. I would say this bike is for someone who just wants to cruise around the city and commute and get there in a very comfortable fashion, in a very stress-free fashion, and have a very nice time, especially with the step-through version, because you're just easily going to get on your bike, cruise away, have like no issue at all with any bumps in the roads or even light gravel, and even a bit of off-roading. You're going to have a really comfortable time. Good hydraulic brakes, they're just going to stop you straight away. With all the suspension we've got on this, it's nice. I think it's good. It's a well-built bike for what you're getting. There are cheaper e-bikes out there, but I think it's hard to beat maybe what you're getting for this price. And especially, I find it hard to find good 250 watt e-bikes as well. Many of the good e-bikes I find that you can buy are often more than 250 watts. They're not legal in EU countries. So I would get it. I'd definitely get it if I were to get a new e-bike now. I've already got an e-bike now, so I won't be getting it. But if I would get a new e-bike now, it's definitely one I would consider to get. So that's my review on the Engwe E26. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.